What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Club and Country. This is episode number 99. We're starting today's stuff with a third versus first clash here. 13 games to go in the race for the title as we take on Spurs. With 4 points clear of Pep Guardiola's Manchester City in second. And all I was thinking about heading into this game in North London was, is this going to be like what we saw last weekend when Spurs went to Manchester City and blew the title race wide open? Well, we know that if Conte's boys are going to get back in the title race, they needed to win this game. A draw, simply put, is not going to be enough. We have a double-digit lead over third-place Tottenham Hotspur right now, so only a win would do for them to have any chance whatsoever of getting back in the title race. But for us, with a Manchester derby happening on the exact same day, we had a chance to potentially extend the lead on Guardiola's side of a big win here and get ourselves more separation as we have right now a 4-point lead. And on the back of the big win in Naples 5-2 at the Stadio San Paolo against Napoli in the first leg of our Champions League last season, I was worried that fatigue might turn out to be a problem in this game after, well, let's just say after a thrilling 7-goal first leg. I wasn't actually going to be fresh for this game here against Spurs, though my team certainly felt that way, because to start the game off, Rabi Rotondo bagged 24th goal of the season to make it 1-0 and give us the early lead, and 12.5 minutes in, well, Spurs might have blown the title race wide open last weekend, but I wasn't going to let them do it in this game. Dan James bagged our second 12 minutes in. This is a brilliant camera angle, by the way. You love to see this, as we're 2-0 up in North London. And for Dan James, well, hey, he's goal number 12 in 26. He's under 1 in 2, but only by a goal this season. He has been amazing as part of our front three this year, as we had an early 2-goal lead, and 21 minutes in, we had a chance to make it 3. Gavin rolls the ball around his man with the roulette, then the McGeady spin to beat him for the second time. Great save at the near post, kept it at 2-0, but really in the first half an hour, it was all Newport County. Spurs hadn't caused me any problems at all until they did. 29 minutes into the game, Leon Bailey gets the ball just outside the area, gets about his feet, and finds the top corner. Absolutely brilliant goal there by the former Aston Villa winger. And from nowhere, in the first half an hour where we'd been completely dominant, Spurs halved the deficit, made it 2-1, and put this game right back into contention once again. I still felt I'd be okay, because whilst my defence, as you know, is shocking, one thing I do know is that I can always score goals. So despite Bailey getting the goal to half the deficit there, I still felt very confident I'll be able to restore our 2-goal cushion very soon afterwards, and right from kickoff we had a chance to do so. And we would. You know I love those kickoff goals, and Spurs thought they got back in the game through that Bailey goal, but straight after that, from kickoff, we rolled the ball through to Rabi Rotondo for his brace in the game. And like I said, man, the man who joins in for the celebration, he might be leading the way in the race for the golden boot right now, but Rabi is not going to let his bro take it without a fight. 3-1, and Rabi restores our 2-goal cushion. In the second half, though, Spurs continue to press, look for a goal to get back in the game once again. Harry Kane would provide it as well. Lovely ball through by Rodri, the former Man City midfielder, and the Spurs talisman up top fires in yet another goal to reduce deficit from 2-1. So Spurs, to their credit, were not giving up in this game and not giving up in the title race as well. With 18 minutes to go, still leading by 1. Brennan Johnson receives a poor corner from Spurs, storms down the right hand side. You know how effective playing with pace is in FIFA, and it has been for many, many years, and that's why so many of our goals come on the break, and especially from set pieces as well. Brennan Johnson's fresh legs sees him storm down the right, roll it across in the middle. Who's there to turn it in, and once again restore our 2-goal cushion for the third time in the game? Super Gavin Humphreys. Yep, I tell you what, the race for the title is dramatic, but the race for the golden boot is just as dramatic. 26 in 26 for Gavin Humphreys, a perfect 1-in-1. Even he's got the chance to get to 40 this season. And whilst Rodri would fire in a late goal for Spurs to make it 3-2, and once again, for the third time in the game, cut the gap to 1 goal. Fortunately, we'd hold on for the win. I'll tell you what, fair play to Spurs in this game, because they didn't lie down and just accept that we're going to get the win. Every time we got a 2-goal cushion, they kept on battling back, and they did battle back to reduce it to 1 on 3 separate occasions, but we held on for the win, and I think that win there means now for sure, with 12 games to go in the season, it's a 2-horse title race. I can't see Spurs or Manchester United or Leeds catching up now. I've said for the majority of the season, it feels like a 2-horse title race, and I think mathematically it is now. Big win there in North London, and I'd say for sure it's going to be us or Man City that will win the title this season. We still hold the lead right now in pole position. Still, second game of today's episode. Brighton and Hove Albion, how about this for a start? Well, Brandon Cooper trying to block this shot, inadvertently deflects the ball into his own goal, as Graham Potter's side take a shock lead here at Rodney Parade. And with this game coming right before the FA Cup last 16 tie against Liverpool on Wednesday night, I did decide to rotate a couple of players for this game, because I still felt it had what it takes to take out the Seagulls and get a win here. But we've had problems with Brighton in this save, both in the Championship and in the Premier League as well. Remember last season we lost to them 4-0 away from home on the final day. The result meant nothing, of course, because we were already crowned champions and had the Europa League final directly afterwards. But even so, worth pointing out, lost to them last season, and we have lost to them quite a few times since the series began, both in the second tier and also in the Premier League as well. And we trailed by 2. Half an hour in at Rodney Parade, and I was thinking, this is kind of what I've talked about many times before. Sometimes the toughest games are the easiest ones, you'd think, theoretically, because our losses so far in the Premier League have been at home to Southampton and Aston Villa. So we're trailing by 2. Matondo got us back in the game 34 minutes in to half the deficit and make it 2-1. And after that, momentum totally changed. Brighton weren't really causing many problems after they took a 2-goal lead. In fact, it was all Newport County. And with 20 minutes to go, like I talked about in the last game against Spurs, utilising that pace and coming on the break from set pieces in particular can at times be so effective. Don't hoof the ball long, just dribble into space. Because if you've got the pace, you'll be able to outpace the guys that are left behind you. Dan James goes coast to coast to make it 2-2 and level it for us with 5 minutes to go. Its momentum totally changed. It was all Newport County, utilising that pace, utilising the speedster. Dan James in behind Jordan Torunariga goes through one-on-one, bags his brace and turns the game on its head single-handedly in the second half with goals 13 and 14 this season. 3 and 2 for our number 9. And I've got to say, you know, Matondo and Humphreys, they're the star 2 players in this team. But I often talk about it, there's always a third man that never gets as much praise. Dan James is that guy. 14 in 27, he's been sublime this year, averaging more than 1 in every 2 games. And for a third man option to have that record in this team, with 2 players going for the golden boot, that's incredibly impressive. So we led for the first time in the game. The speedster Dan James, his pace on full display for goals 2 and 3 as we had a lead for the first time in the game. But from kickoff, Brighton refusing to give up, looking to claim a point, and they would get it. Little bit of a mini legend right now in my Arminia Bielefeld save. Nikola Vlasic, the former Hammer, CSKA Moscow and Everton attacking midfielder, bangs in the equaliser right from kickoff. And I've got to say, come full time, I didn't know how to feel. I mean, we'd battled back from 2 goals down to lead, but then surrendered the win directly from kickoff. I was like, is that a good result or not? Well, I guess it's not a bad result, because as you can see, we've now opened up a 5-point gap on Manchester City with 11 games to go and have the far superior goal difference as well. Had we held on for the win in that game, the gap would have been 7. 7-point gap with 11 games to go. I'd surely think at that point, unless we bottled it significantly, we'd be champions with a better goal record too. But a 5-point gap, so you extend the gap from 4 to 5. So it's not a terrible result, but it could have been a massive one. I guess, considering the fact of where we were, which was 2-0 down half an hour in, it's not too bad, and I guess I will take it. 3-3 against Brighton. Our winning run held by Graham Potter's Seagulls, but again, not too surprising, because I often talk about it, sometimes the toughest games are the ones you expect to be the easiest. Still, third and final game of today's episode, as we're still dreaming of that treble. Top of the table in the Premier League, 5-point gap of 11 games to go. We got 1 foot in the Champions League quarterfinals after our big win in Naples against Napoli in the first leg of the last 16. And now in the FA Cup, heading into the last 16, our 5th round tie against Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool. Well, Wednesday night on the back of the draw against Brighton, I wanted to make amends here in South Wales, and what a fantastic start. 16 minutes in, first goal in a Newport County shirt for Ben Cabango. Our centre-half heads in our opener. We lead by a goal, and in 24 minutes in, had a chance to make it 2. Gavin chips the ball through to Lloyd down the right-hand side. Rabbi Matondo holds his run. We roll it across to him, and our number 11 gets our second. I've talked about it quite a bit in the last 2 episodes, but Gavin versus Rabbi for the title of who's the real star in this team. to me, they're just as important as each other. You know when a parent says, "Oh, I love my kids equally." That's how I feel about Gavin and Arabi Matondo. Love them to pieces as they combined for our first 2 goals of the game in this one half an hour. And so leading by 2, Lloyd almost scored a screamer 37 minutes in. That shot going just over the bar as we still led by 2. But to be fair, in this game, didn't really have too much cause for concern until we did. 22 minutes to go. Gavin Humphreys trying to step in from the right and get ourselves our 3rd goal. Taken down fairly. No penalty, no foul, no doubt about it, but stayed down. And as Liverpool took advantage with us temporarily down to 10 men, they'd find a goal to half deficit and get back in the game. Gravenberch rolls through Sadio Mane. The former Southampton man makes it 2-1. The deficit halved, but thankfully we would hold on for the win. We are into the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, but the worrying sign there was for Gavin Humphreys. Right after that moment, I took him off, taking no chances whatsoever. He appeared to be okay to soldier on, but I wasn't taking any risks whatsoever. I took him straight off. And the question is, how bad is that injury for Gavin Humphreys? I think he'll just be a bruise. I think he'll be okay. And we'll find out in the very next episode. Our draw for the FA Cup quarter-final. Who have we got in the last day of the competition? The 3rd time we've been here in 4 years. And the injury details of Humphreys as well in the special episode 100. Guys, thank you so much for watching the episode. Really hope you have enjoyed. If you have a like, much love to you. Have a fantastic day. And please don't miss the next episode. It is episode 100 of the series. It's a thank you special. It's going to be a thriller. And I really hope you enjoy it. Much love, guys. Appreciate you very much. And I'll see you for the special thank you episode 100 of Club and Country very soon.